All right, what's up, everyone? I'm Cynthia Conte for the best women's boxing show, period. I'm here with Hearn, Eddie Hearn. Fontaine Bleu, you guys are christening it. It's gorgeous, huh?
Yeah, it is. Obviously, I'm going to say it anyway because I'm here, but this hotel, the best in Vegas by a mile I've stayed at. Like, there is the facilities, the gym, the spa, the rooms, the restaurants, and the venue, which is the first, first ever boxing event, first ever sporting event at the Fontaine Bleu as well. So really looking forward to it. Great show as well. Smaller show. Great action, really good. Like, if you like your boxing, tune into DAZN on Saturday. It's going to be a great card.
Very excited because obviously, first we always talk about the women. Skye Nicholson, I'm happy that she didn't want to just take the belt. She wants to win the belt, as you should.
I think sometimes, like in women's boxing, there are a lot of fighters that win vacant belts because there isn't a lot of depth in certain divisions, and I think if you are a real player in boxing and you've got good amateur pedigree and you're a good fighter, the last thing you want to do is kind of like be given a belt. It's a bit like Devin.
The email
champion. Yeah. Well, he had to really earn it. And he chased Lomachenko. Lomachenko got moved to franchise. It wasn't his fault. And like Skye chased Amanda Serrano, she wanted that fight. She didn't want Mahfoud. She wanted Serrano. And when Serrano vacated, she got the next best, which is Mahfoud, which I think she's a heavy favourite to win, Skye, on the betting odds, but I actually think it's maybe not 50-50, but Mahfoud's 14-1. She's a former world champion. She had a good fight with Serrano. Like, she won rounds in that fight, and but I think if you're, this goes for Hitchins and these kind of guys. If you are a talent, you will perform better as the level steps up. You saw that for Skye last time out against Wildheart. But big fight to become world champion after a rough weekend for the Aussies last weekend. Yeah.
She needs to carry the Australian flag loud and proud because they are depending on her. Yeah. Now, I spoke with Diego. I remember interviewing when he turned pro, 17 years old, and he was just saying to me, I was so nervous, I didn't know how to talk to anyone, just being on here. He's like, now after all that, I'm like, God, you're like growing into your man strength. You're a papa now. It's amazing. That means we're just getting older.
Yeah, I thought he spoke really well up there today, and that was, one of the first times. Not that his press conference is normally bad, but I kind of looked at him and thought, because like you, I still remember him as a 17-year-old kid, And then I saw him outside the hotel yesterday with his pram and his big Great Dane. I'm like, wow, you're a middle-aged man now, and I think he's really, really good. Like, I think the Caceres fight, there was a round or two where he started to get hit. Caceres was having a real go. He was soaking up the punishment, and it's like, is this kid tough enough? And the answer was yes. He came back, and you got to show that as well. And the names that Jose Benavidez is sort of saying to me makes me think. Jose wouldn't be saying those names if he didn't see also in the gym the ability that this guy has. He's talking about Plant and Charlo and Berlanga and these kind of guys. This is like a little bit of a banana skin because McCalman is 15-0, good fighter. But I don't want to just throw Diego in those big fights all the time. It's okay to have a fight like this, have another camp, learn, come through it. If he can look sensational on Saturday, the next one will be in LA, headlining against, hopefully, one of those kind of names.
See Berlanga, because I told you Canelo was not gonna give Berlanga. I told you that. He was just not ready. I'm sorry, Eddie. I told it to you, but now we know who he's fighting. But I would love to see Diego and Berlanga because that would be a banger.
You know what it is? I said to Jose and Diego last night, all those guys, Plant, Charlo, Berlanga, Munguia, they're all looking for the big fights, for big money. Yeah. So it's sometimes difficult for Diego and Richardson as the young kid coming through. Like, the answer is, why would I fight him? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I get that. So we have to build Diego to a point where Diego against Berlanga is a massive fight. Do you know what I mean? And pays Berlanga what he wants because they're on big money, these guys, And I'm really excited about Diego. It's really pleasing to see the young guys that we signed at the start. Ray Ford winning the world title the other week was so not like...
Congratulations, I cried.
No, it was amazing. And Amo Williams in a big fight coming up, and Mark Castro in his first championship fight.
Elon Musk.
Yeah. And Diego, I really believe he'll be world champion. He's a fine young man, actually. Yeah. Fine young man.
Good kid. We saw them all grow up, and now they're getting old. Yeah. We're getting old. All our grays are starting to pop. It's our brave silver hairs. Good, the Hitchins. Interesting.
Fight, yeah.
Sad enough, Lemos did not understand a lick of what he said. But hey, he'll watch the press conference.
The manager of Lemos just came over to me over there. I didn't know who he was, and he said, "Can I just say, you are about to see something incredible on Saturday night. And I'm like, I didn't know he was. And he was like, Lemos, he's my guy. I said, I promise you, he's going to tear this guy apart. I'm like, great. I don't believe you, but I love to hear it. And this is a fight that's been ordered as a final eliminator. Lemos is 29-0. Like, the winner fights the winner of Subriel Matias against Liam Paro, which is a great fight. But Richardson is of the same mould as Devin, Shakur, Teofimo. He was in the same teams. He has the same kind of ability. He's just got to scream and shout it, but he's got to put a performance together. I don't want him just to school this guy, and I want him to stop him and beat him up and stand on the corner post and say, "Give me Haney, give me Matias, give me Teofimo," because he believes he can beat them all.
Because the last outing with Hitchins, everyone's like, it's boring, but he's skilled. He's a boxer, so boxers are technically boring. But I
got in a ring after that fight, and he went, "What do you think?" And I went, "I'll be honest with you. I wanted you just in the championship rounds to step on and stop him."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, but I didn't lose a round." I'm like, "I know." So, but how can you say to someone, go in there and take chances when it's like, but to excite the fans and to make sure that people know your name, you have to excite them. So hopefully he can get the mix right on Saturday in what will be a tough fight.
I think it would be a great fight. Skill versus skill. Shakur and Devin Haney against him. But they had a lot to say after that fight. He was like, I'll school him. He was boring. He sucked. But hey, you guys are fighters. And Shakur apparently came out of retirement. So.
Yeah, exactly. He's been retired a few times now. Yeah.
Just like Tyson Fury. Anywho, I saw that the 5-on-5.
Yeah.
No women's bout. Well, I get it.
Yeah.
You're in Saudi, but whatever.
No, that's,
I understand. I always guys give you stuff about it, but
there's plans in place. I mean, when you talk about what's happening in Saudi, obviously you've got Fury against Usyk May the 18th, right? Amazing. And then 2 weeks later, you've got BWBSP plus the 5v5. Like, it is amazing. And the 5v5 is quite historic. For you guys across the pond, myself and Frank Warren, who haven't spoken for 15 years, we're the two biggest promoters in the UK. All of a sudden, we come together, and now we are, and we're. It's actually really good fun, and now we've got these kind of interstable matchups, which I think can work well. Like I said in my press conference with the Munguia Ryder fight, I'll take on Golden Boy 5v5. I'll take on Top Rank PBC. I think it's a good narrative. I think that kind of. Something a bit different is good for boxing, and it's going to be a huge show in Riyadh.
Imagine if all of you guys actually got along and we would get some fights that we want.
Imagine if we did like 2 semi-finals. So Matchroom against Golden Boy and Top Rank against PBC, 5v5. And the winners fight the winners in the final. So you would get, I don't know, Matchroom against PBC in the final of the 5v5. I think it's a great format.
Great format.
But no one seems to really want to talk about it with me. But what can I say?
Eddie, they don't like you sometimes because you talk too much. They say. All right, now Ryan talks a lot. Apparently, and Devin. I can't keep up with Ryan anymore. He was going through his whatever period. I'm like, this fight is definitely not happening. I'm praying for him, and then now I don't know what conversation and Twitter spaces he's putting on, but it's happening. It really is happening. Haney, I know what you're going to say, but do you give Ryan a chance?
I mean, I always give a fighter a chance who's good. Ryan can punch. I think preparation-wise, who knows? I have to be honest, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I thought, and that's probably been quite difficult for Devin, because did Devin really believe this fight was happening in his heart of hearts? I mean, he's a real pro, Devin, but he's had to come through the doubt. And now, we're 2 weeks away on Saturday. New York and all of us, the media, the fans, need to actually say, oh my God, it's actually happening. You know what I mean?
No, it will happen when I see them in the ring.
True. But obviously every day that draws closer, it becomes more likely. And it's a great fight. I think a lot of people will tune in just to see where Ryan Garcia is at. Because don't forget, of the madness that he's been putting out there, he controls it. When he gets to New York, he's going to be under the microscope of the media, and you guys asking him questions. I mean, there could be further implosions incoming. Do you know what I mean? So, but I've always said I don't think that Oscar and Bernard and his parents and would let him, and Derek James would let him go into the fight if he really wasn't ready. And if they are, they should really be ashamed of themselves, and I don't think they'd do it. So I think maybe he's looking great in the gym.
Maybe it's the best troll we've ever seen.
Not a troll. I mean, one thing's for sure, it's not a troll. Yeah. But, you know, maybe he feels like he's speaking the truth and this is the real me. So I'm actually in a great place. Like, how do we not know he's going, I actually feel great. I'm saying what I want to say. I feel amazing. Like, you know.
I just wish he doesn't do it during fight week. I totally believe in the Illuminati. I believe in there's dark forces. I totally believe it. I do. I believe there's stuff out there.
Is it that one?
I don't know. It's this. I don't. Teofimo Lopez gave me and Jeandra a whole history of things. He's like, I can't talk about it on camera because I'll get killed. I'm like, what is happening? You and Ryan must be friends.
I've noticed lately, you know, on your Twitter feed, like the amount of conspiracy theories that I'm seeing now. I'm actually having to turn it off because it's like,
I get that.
I'm wondering, are you real?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait. And then, you know, congratulations. The last time I did speak with you, Anthony Joshua was going in, and I said, hey, you never know. He might get knocked out. But wow, yeah. He looked ferocious. Yeah. He looked like the Anthony Joshua that we were all craving for him to come back.
Yeah. I think better than ever, honestly.
Absolutely.
Like, now a more well-rounded fighter, you know, defense, footwork, but now the power and the you know, that killer instinct is back. And that was a major statement. I mean, you know, I know some people say, oh, it was a UFC fighter. It's like no one expected that. And right now, one of the hottest commodities in the sport, and we fancy our chances against any heavyweight in the world. So looking forward to the future.
I saw Tyson Fury's face when he got knocked out. I was like,
sitting next to me.
He's like, shit.
Yeah. I know, yeah.
He did that to him, and I got.
Exactly.
You could tell your best friend that. All right, Eddie, I will let you go. I'm trying to think of what other. Are there any? Oh yeah, real fast. Tszyu Fundora. We saw what happened. I don't know if there's a rematch in place. Who would you like? As a fight fan, who would you like Fundora to fight? A rematch with Tszyu, Crawford, or Spence?
Yeah, I mean, I presume there's a rematch in place because they took the fight at 12 days' notice, and he was the champion. Yeah. So you need to be really making sure you dot the I's and cross the T's there, and verbal contracts are no good in boxing. But I think if I'm Fundora, you know, listen, Tszyu in Australia, there's government money behind those guys. Like, you could bring a big fight to Australia. You could fight Errol Spence. As I understand it, there's a 6-month suspension from the nose injury. Which, you know, I mean, that's...
his dad said he needs at least till November because of his nose. I mean, Tszyu needs, I don't know how long.
Yeah, but that's top of the head. And it's, So I think Tszyu may end up fighting in the interim then in Australia. And Tszyu's a very exciting fighter. Like, you know, and he gained a lot of fans. People are always quick after the fact, aren't they, to say, oh, the corner should have done this, the corner should have done that. They should have pulled him out of the fight. Then it would have been a no contest. Then you would have maintained. But they're probably also thinking, we've just beat him up for 2 rounds. We're going to win the fight. I'm not a cut expert. Yeah. I don't think it looked like the greatest job I've seen on the cut, but who knows? Top of the head, there's veins in. Like, it was a mess, wasn't it?
Have you ever seen a fight like that?
I'm very surprised they let the fight continue on all ends, corner, doctor, commission, but difficult when it's the top of the head and you're not getting punched there. But Fundora, I mean, you know, it was an exciting fight.
I think we talked about anyone that fights Fundora, it's because the height is so different. So if he's going to come down and punch down and you duck, he's going to elbow you.
It was an exciting fight.
So I say Tszyu versus Spence.
Basically, the answer is whoever's going to pay the most money.
God, you're such a promoter. But I know,
I love
but
Samson,
still.
But Samson's going to look after the kid and say, we need to cash in. Because I'm not saying they got lucky. They got a little bit lucky, right? So cash in, make the kid his money, and roll the dice.
Well, I can't wait to see your fighters because I know Pitbull, Matias, all these names are in. Matias is, if Pitbull chooses Matias, oh my God, but sorry, IBF. Sorry guys. You can make the money step aside. Earn with Hearn, remember? All right, guys, tune in to Matchroom this Saturday. If not, come to Vegas. Beautiful Fontaine Bleu. Drinks are on Eddie, as always. He's just like, what? All right, guys, I'm Cynthia and Jeandra for Best Women's Boxing Show period. See you guys at the fights. Bye, guys.